All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Wakar Kodash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Ba'Hashem, in the name of Mashiach Yahushai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Lashwan Kodash Lotan. And I say Barakatham to the elders, apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of this news article from the Washington Times. As we've been seeing, rising tensions have been heating up between Iran and the United States and the pro-Iranian groups, which is the Houthi rebels over there in Yemen, going against the Israel Defense Force. Going against the Israel Defense Force and going against the United States armies as well too. As I want to add a side on to that. And it says Trump warns Iran it will face consequences of further attacks from Yemen Houthi rebels, or especially over there in the Gulf of Aden and over there in the Arabian Sea and over there in the Red Sea as well too. As you've been having, the Houthi rebels been targeting shipments over there in the Arabian Sea, and they had to like reroute. Because the Houthi rebels are in solidarity with the Palestinians and Hamas as well too, and the pro-Iranian groups. As it says once again, this was from the Associated Press, March the 17th, 2025, published by John Gambrell, if I pronounce his name right, from the WashingtonTimes.com. As it reads once again. Trump warns Iran it will face consequences, further attacks from Yemen Houthi rebels. It says from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, from the Associated Press. The U.S. President Trump on Monday explicitly linked the actions to Yemen's Houthi rebels to be groups remain benefactor. Iran warns Tehran would suffer the consequences for further attacks by the group, which they is going to continue to those attacks, which they made that announcement like a week and a half ago, that they're going to target the they're going to target the Israel Defense Force, they're going to target the United States armies, and they're going to target the Great Britain as well too. So it's going to be a conflict between both sides of Great Britain and the United States and the Israel Defense Force. Of them all three together going against the pro-Iranian groups, which is the Houthi rebels. It says the comments by Trump on his Truth Social website escalating this administration of the new campaign of airstrikes targeting the rebels, which killed at least 53 people this weekend. Alone appear posed to continue. Meanwhile, Iran continues to wait how to respond to a letter Trump sent them last week, trying to jumpstart negotiations over the Tehran repeatedly advancing nuclear program, which they is going to continue to build up that nuclear program as they send that threat to Israel. Because you've been seeing the rise in tension heating up between Israel and what's the Israel Defense Force going against Iran. It says the Houthi supporters themselves rallied in several cities Monday after the strike, vowing revenge against America and Israel over blocking aid to the Gaza Strip, right, which the Israel Defense Force been blocking the aid assistance for the people of the Gaza Strip. It says after its war on Hamas, the Houthis, right, because you're going to see the Dragons of Arabia is going to be rising up against Israel Defense Force as well too. And you can link that up to Ezekiel the 38th chapter and through verse 39. It says, and I think Jeremiah, the 49th chapter as well too. Because the Persians, they are Elam. That's a future prophecy of Jeremiah, the 49th chapter. As I had a side note to that as well too. It says satellites news channel puts young boys on air live who chanted group slogan, God is great. And it says DEATH to America, DEATH to Israel. It says curse the small hats, victory to Islam, as quoted from them. It says the Yemen positions is irreversible position regarding Gaza. So do whatever you Americans want, for we are men who fear no one but the God. It says Muhammad Ali Houthi, a Houthi leader who spoke to the demonstrations in Yemen, rebel hell capital Sana'a, describing the Houthi as a sinister monsters and thugs. Trump warned any attacks by the group will be met with great force, and there is no guarantee that this force will stop there. It says that Iran has played the innocent victim of the rogue groups from which they have lost control, but they haven't lost control, Trump allegedly in the post. It says they dictating every move, giving them the weapons, supplying them with the money and highly sophisticated military equipment, and even so-called intelligence. It is unclear what sparked Trump's boast. However, the head of Iran's military revolutionary guard sought to separate the Houthi actions from those Tehran. This weekend, the Houthis also launched drones and missiles targeting the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier in the Red Sea, though none reached the ships as it contained flight operations in the regions. Iran did not immediately comment on the post. Every shots fired by the Houthis will be looked upon from this point forward as being a shot fired from the weapons and the leadership of Iran, and Iran will be held responsible and suffer the consequences, and those consequences will be dire. Trump added, the Houthis rebel attacked over 100 merchant vessels with the missiles and drones, sinking two vessels and killing four sailors from November 2023 until January this year, when a ceasefire began in Gaza. The campaign also greatly raised the Houthis' profile in the wider Arab world, with tampered down and a public criticism against their human rights abuse and crackdowns on the dissident aid workers. The Houthis claim they have been additional U.S. airstrikes overnight, though the American officials did not immediately acknowledge them. In the Sindia province, the Houthi stronghold rebels raided a warehouse run by the World Food Program. A member of the Yemen's exile government first reported the Houthis have been taking supplies from the facilitators without the WFP's permission and the aftermath of the U.S. airstrikes. The United States National Agency later acknowledged the Houthis' actions to the Associated Press. It says a WFP regrets the de facto authorized decision to seize some of the commodities. It said these commodities were extended for the most vulnerable food insecure families. Only the WFP and its partners have the authority to distribute them to ensure they reach the intended recipients. Yemen at war since Houthi seized Sinai and back in 2014 and have been recipient of the famine for years, but the UN in February suspended its operations in Sinai over the security concerns following the detentions of dozens of UN workers, while others in recent months. A day later, the WFP announced one of its staffers died while imprisoned by Houthis. This is the book of Matthews. Matter of fact, Revelations, I meant to say. Then I'm going to get to that. Matthews. Yep, this is Revelations 11, verse 14. The second will pass. Behold, the third will coming quickly. Right, so the second will distress came to pass. Now the third will distress coming quickly. That's going to build up to more escalations between the nations. The distress of nations will perplex and seizures born. More seditions, more uprisings, more wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. So we're seeing the building up of the third world's war. That's what we're seeing. Rising tensions between Iran and Israel Defense Force. The pro-Iranian groups going against the Israel Defense Force. The Houthi rebels and the pro-Iranian group forces going against the coalition forces of Great Britain and the United States and Israel Defense Force. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 8. It says in a time to love, in a time of HATE, in a time of war, in a time of peace. Right, we're definitely living in a time of war. 'Cause, we're seeing increasing wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. This is the book of Matthew 24 and verse 6. Oh, that's Matthew's. This is Matthew 24 verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? The pro-Iranian groups, the Houthi rebels going against the United States armies in Great Britain and the Israel Defense Force over there in the Red Sea and throughout Western Asia. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, it's going to come to pass, but it's not going to end just yet. So we're going to see more building up of these nuclear escalations are heating up between the nations. What's we so accustomed seeing and witnessing and hearing, but it's been, ever since then, it's been increasing, and we're going to see more signs of it. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so nation against nations, kingdom against kingdoms. It's only going to build up to the third world's war, and that's what we're seeing. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of these. For the past 2 days, we've been seeing rising tensions between the United States armies versus the Houthi rebels, which is a pro-Iranian group in solidarity with the Palestinians and in solidarity with the Arab nations. As we've been seeing these rising tensions is only going to increase. And Trump sent that warning. He says again from the Washington Times, published by John Gabriel from the Associated Press Monday, March the 17th, 2025. As it says again, it says Trump warns Iran it will face consequences of further attacks from Yemen's Houthi rebels. And then on top of that, you're still going to have rising tensions heating up between Iran against the Israel Defense Force and the pro-Iranian groups going against the United States armies. And that's what we're seeing right now. So it's only going to stir up tensions between both sides. So coalition forces of Great Britain and the United States and the Israel Defense Force versus the pro-Iranian groups and Iran versus Israel. So we see it heating up as of right now. So that's building up to more and more of the third world's war. The second world passed, behold, the third world coming quickly. As I brought up that Revelations 11 verse 14. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying. With that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Makakadash, and Barakatham to the elders and apostles for Akim or Akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.